Good morning, Salmon Bay students. I am Counselor Intern Matt, and I am so excited to be connecting with you digitally to check in, to see how you're doing, and also to read you a fun story. Over the coming weeks, I would love to put up videos like this to read you stories, maybe play that thing, we'll see, maybe introduce you to my pets, all kinds of fun stuff. But for today, we are going to learn a worry woo story. And if you're in a couple of the classes, you may have met some of the worry woos. They look like this or this. And each of these worry woos has something that challenges them or something that they want to grow about themselves. And these are great stories to sort of learn from these monsters how we can think about these things on our own. So the way this usually works is I invite you to sit down in a relaxed pose. You can have your legs crossed if you're sitting on the floor, and just hands in your lap with a nice peaceful mind and listening pose. And at the beginning of each story, I'm going to go over some words that we can keep an ear out for during the story. So today's story is about Wince, and Wince is the monster of worry. Okay? Worry. And the story is called Don't Feed the Worry Bug. What is a worry bug, you might ask? Stay tuned, we'll find out. Some other words to keep an ear out for are could be, maybe, and might, enough, busy, and finally, the slogan to this whole story, don't feed the worry bug. So if you're listening at home and want to practice just the way we do things in class, if you hear something that you relate to or that you recognize from our list of words, you can show me or show your folks at home with one of these, okay? This means me too. If you hear something in the book that rhymes, you can show that with your hand by doing the American Sign Language symbol for an R, which looks like this. R for rhyme. And now I'm going to begin with our story. I'll note that we do have permission to read this story through Monsters in My Head LLC. They're letting school counselors and other folks read these stories online to students. So, Don't Feed the Worry Bug by Andi Green. On a bench in a park on a bright sunny day, Wince, the monster of worry, let time slip away. He looked at the clock. It was 2:15, when Wince started to think about all he must do. He had homework and laundry, and he needed clean pants. And he must bake some cookies for the Worry Woo dance. Then Wince started to wonder, did he leave the lights on? Was his backside too poofy? Where had all his friends gone? And his worries kept growing, till he heard a soft buzz that made goosebumps appear, for he knew what it was. There was only one creature that made such a sound. Around monsters that worry, it could often be found. Some call it the worry bug, and this is for sure. If you feed it a worry, it will always want more. And I'll introduce you to the worry bug. Buzz, buzz, Wince heard as its noisy wings flapped. It flew up and down as he shooed and he clapped. It flittered and fluttered around Wince's ear. In the blink of an eye, more worries appeared. Did he feed his fish Ted? Did his dog get a bone? Did he send all his woo mail? Did he bring his bike home? Should he go to the movies? Would he get a good grade? Will the weather be nice for the Woo Town parade? So the worry bug has entered and is making Wince worry about all of these things. And with every new worry that came Wince's way, the worry bug shouted, "Hip, hip, hooray!" For the more that Wince worried, the more the bug grew. It nibbled and munched on his worry-filled stew. Wince said to the worry bug, "Perhaps you should leave." He asked quite politely, and even used please. Yet the worry bug stayed, for the two of them knew that Wince would still worry. That's what he would do. I dropped Wince. Sorry, Wince. As day turned to night, Wince got ready for bed. The worry bug yawned and laid next to his head. But its buzzing kept Wince from going to sleep. So he tossed and he turned and he tried to count sheep. Friends, I'm going to take a quick pause. Show me one of these if you've ever had trouble sleeping because you're just worried about something. Even if it's a little thing, the worry bug just keeps you awake and it's just hard to sleep. Me for sure. Yeah? Cool. While thoughts of what if, could be, maybe, and might made Wince worry more, he was worried all night. When morning arrived, Wince looked up and gasped. The worry bug had grown. It had happened so fast. It used to be tiny, an annoyance quite small. Now it covered his kitchen, the ceiling, and wall. So what used to be just a tiny little bug has grown to something that fills Wince's entire kitchen. The bug's belly gurgled. Full of worries it was. No longer could Wince sweep it under the rug. Its buzzing went on, and Wince started to fret about all of the things that hadn't happened just yet. No cookies were baked, the laundry had piled. Wince hadn't done homework in such a long while. "Enough!" Wince exclaimed. "There must be a way to get rid of a worry bug. It can no longer stay." So Wince went to the library to read and take notes about catapults, cranes, wagons, and goats. He plotted and mapped out a worrybug graph, then called in the experts, the worrybug staff. Together they studied this big growing beast and built a bug net out of Wince's bed sheets. They were having such fun. Wince was worried no more, and soon he was baking and doing his chores. But just when Wince thought his work was complete, the worrybug buzzed.
I need something to eat.
And noticed that the worrybug, which was as big as Wince's kitchen, is now back to being tinier than ever. Wince looked at the bug. It was once again small. For while Wince had been busy, he hadn't worried at all.
You've ignored me all day,
The tiny bug said.
and you haven't been worried, so I haven't been fed.
Then the bug stomped its feet and buzzed all the more. Wince took a firm stand and showed it the door. I've got things to do. I must work. I must play. I'm not going to worry, so go on your way, says Wince. Buzz, buzz, Wince heard as the bug flew about, still trying to make one last worry come out. It flittered and fluttered around Wince's ear, yet Wince wouldn't give in, and it soon disappeared. Wince knew very well that this wasn't the end. The bug might be back, if he worried again. But Wince would be ready, should he hear that buzz buzz, to say no to the worry bug, simply because Wince had learned that his worries got bigger each day when he allowed the worry bug to nibble away. So to all of you worriers, Wince wants you to know, don't feed the worry bug, or your worries will grow. The end. That was Don't Feed the Worry Bug by Andi Green, featuring Wince and the Worry Bug. I think there are a few things to take away from this story. First off, if you're watching along at home, show me with your face how Wince felt at the beginning of the story. Could be sad, could be anxious, could be scared, definitely worried. Great. Now show me with your face how he felt at the end of the story. Could be happy, could be relieved, could be having fun. And I noticed two strategies that Wince used. First off, at a certain point in the story, when the worry bug was as big as his kitchen, he reached out for help, which is super important to remember. When we're worrying about things, we can always reach out to those around us for help. It could be a parent or guardian, it could be a friend, it could be a sibling, it could be anyone that you trust and want to share your problems or challenges with. And secondly, Wince really started to turn things around and shrink that worry bug when he kept busy. It's amazing how keeping yourself busy with activities and keeping your brain occupied can make that worry bug shrink and shrink and shrink because you're too busy having fun or doing something that makes you feel good or that makes other people feel good by keeping busy. And if there are things that worry you right now, you can always talk to people about it. And you can reach out to me. You can email me at mthowe, that's mthowe, at seattleschools.org. I miss you all very much, and I'd be happy to talk to you on email or on phone or on Zoom or anything like that. So I really enjoyed reading to you today as always, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.